I didn't know hell was located on PopCap offices, or EA's offices. But this world is the worst design ever, and the plants don't help, especially since the videos that explain how to play this world pretty much contradict the game tutorial. But we are not here to talk about the worlds, but comment and like if you want me to cover them. But I think the plants in Big Wave Beach represent pretty well the problem with this world. And I will need not be soft on them since the world was not soft on me also. Goddamn fisherman, zombie and octopus. But let's go to the ranking. First, like, sub and... Hey! Does your back hurt a lot from sitting on your chair? Does your desk look like it belongs in the landfill? Me too, which is why I had it in my bed. But you deserve better than me. You deserve a Blacklyte chair or desk, with a 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot and various products for your gaming setup, partnered with various creators and esports teams, like your one truly. You can trust they will bring quality to your office and give those final beautiful touches to make the perfect office setup or gaming setup to own the noobs in your favorite multiplayer game. And if you have trouble with shipping or got the wrong product, contact customer support through their website, email or even social medias about your order and they will make sure to resolve it as quickly as possible. Use code VERLOON15 for 15% off and use my affiliate links to support my channel down below in the description while getting you a nice discount. Now, back to the video. We are going to rank every other plant introduced in Big Wave Beach. Lily pad. This would be a great plant and kind of is, just not in this world, so obviously not in this game, since there is no more water levels after this one. Lemao. The problem here is the surface area, even if, and that's a big if, you get the 2 whole lanes of dirt to plant and a row of suns and a second row of normal attackers, you need at least an extra row of defenses with a lily pad, not counting the fact one row of defenders is pretty bad on this level, when you have zombies that can counter catapults by killing them, or just pushing them to the water. So you need at least 125 suns just for a chest to put a walnut, being 50 for the sunflower, 25 for the lily pad and the other 50 for the walnut. Or an infinite if you have plant food. But in the fast-paced world where 99% of the plants you had before this world was introduced can survive in or on top of the water, it means that you need to waste suns in a fast-paced world where stalling is pretty hard to do. Sit here, it would be higher if Big Wave Beach was designed by an actual human instead of a corporate demon, or existed more water levels, but as it is, it's an obligatory gimmick that half of the time can go wrong, since you most likely can't plant something on top until the round is so chaotic you are spamming plant food. Tangle Kelp. Same problem, different conclusion. Back in PvZ1, this worked since you only had 2 lanes of surface area to worry about, so it could be used as a reliable and cheap counter to dolphin zombies, while you built up the ground forces. But in this game it's basically just water potato mine with no cooldown, which makes it better than potato mine, but you can't reliably spam it if more than one zombie appears in the lane of the target you want it, most likely a squid zombie or a fisherman one. They will either choose the wrong one, or only eat them after they disturb your game plan. Like the lily pad, this goes into C tier. I do think it is better than it by design, but it's wasted in PvZ2 where instead of 2 sections with water levels, we have one that is so hard and fast paced that it got shoved to the end of the game once they restructured the damn thing, as they moved on to Arena Live Service. Bowling Bulb. The Bloomerang syndrome strikes back, and this feels like a plant with great potential that virtually does nothing. The gimmick is actually pretty cool, a plant that does very damage over the size of the projectile it throws, But at 200 sun, it's not that justified, especially in a fast-paced world. The problem is quite obvious actually. You need to recharge from small to large ball. Do I need to say more really? I'm not denying that large ball isn't busted, or that the plant food isn't generally amazing, but the fact that smallest ball only does 40 compared to the medium that just jumps immediately to 120 means that most times this is just cabbage pult that once in a blue moon does double the damage and 20 more of the melon pults, but with the clear risk reward factor of citron or coconut cannon. But instead of a gimmick that in any world with more than level 3 difficulty makes it only powerful if you use instas in its lane so it can fully recharge. It's not even worth it to talk about the genuine bad gimmick of the balls going through all the lanes. In theory it's genius, in practice it's one of the most punishing mechanics since most zombies are fast enough to move out of the way. So I'm giving it a low C tier, not bad, just worse than a bloomerang. Guacodile. Somehow even worse. And better at the same time. The gimmick is obvious, it's a ranged damage dealer that also can do a Hail Mary on contact with a zombie, with the Hail Mary mode being always active on water. Here is the problem, the projectile is too weak, it's the same damage as a pea shooter, which the thing is 125 cents, so it's not hard to understand why, but why not just put a pea shooter then? Especially since the Hail Mary is pretty weak for what is supposed to be 150 damage. For comparison, the strongest ball in bowling ball does 180 damage, Sergeant did 800, Melon Pult does 80, and it doesn't even need to die on contact. 150 damage is pitiful for a Hail Mary. For comparison, that doesn't even guarantee kill for half of the average zombie, much less a cone head or a bucket head. The plant food isn't much better, so while I think the concept is cooler than Bowling Bulb and Bloomerang, this is pretty much a stupidly made plant that deserves to go in D tier, but the fact its best niche is as a insta that can't even kill the tougher targets. Banana Launcher. The only genuinely good plant introduced in this world, and it's a great one. Despite me not liking manual plants, I can't deny how useful this one is. It charges a banana missile that does 1200 damage, which is half or more than most Gargantuars, and its plant food ability throws about 3 missiles into different lanes, which is an ultra useful plant food considering how powerful it is. It replaces the niche of the coconut cannon and makes the extra 100 sun cost worth it by just not being stuck into one lane. So you can make interesting strategies over only planting 1 or 2 of them and having repeaters at sites, for example. And considering this is the only real world where sun and placement of plants is an issue, you can imagine how busted this is for the rest of the game. If you plan around it, which I don't, but that is just personal preference, so B tier borderline A, but it needed to be more reliable or at least given a better world to shine. And that's about it. I consider Big Wave Beach to be the beginning of the end for Plants vs Zombies design, and that reflects greatly on the new plants. Only one of them justifies its existence after this world, and most feel like Bloomerang sequels that don't address the game's new gimmicks or new enemies. In the next video we are going to look at a world that somehow does the gimmick even worse, but the plant selection isn't as insulting as this one. Frostbite Caves. Ironically a world that could have used a water gimmick. I've been your local detective, based dweller, and I hope you tune in next time over me ragging about a game that, at this point, is lucky 5 employees are working on it. Until next time, nerds!